We are following breaking news out of Havana, Cuba here, something that I want you to hear first on NBC News Now. There are reports of an explosion near a hotel in downtown Havana, the Saratoga Hotel. I want to get right to our reporter on the ground, Ed Augustin, who joins us now live from Havana by phone. Ed, as you join us, our viewers are looking at images that have been coming out of Havana. Can you tell us what we do know at this point? I know you're making your way to the scene as we speak.
I can confirm that there was a huge explosion. By chance, I live just 2 blocks away from where that explosion took place, and I was filing an article for NBC when I heard it. Huge plumes of smoke covering the Capitol building, which didn't explode, but it was just 100 meters or so away from the Capitol building. I went downstairs, there were throngs of people, fire brigades, and what had happened is the Hotel Saratoga, which is a relatively new hotel right here in the heart of Havana, where the Rolling Stones stayed when they were here around about the time Obama came to Cuba and started the normalization process. There was an explosion there, a massive explosion, and it's 6 stories tall. The bottom 3 stories have been completely blown out. Glass flying over a block away. We don't have a casualty count right now. We don't know if there are confirmed people, but speaking to eyewitnesses, people said that the glass went so far that it hit people as they were driving past. There are cars that have been crushed by the opening, by the facade that says Hotel Saratoga, and thousands, I'd say over 10,000 people there being cordoned away by police as we speak. One eyewitness I spoke to that I asked to interview said that he wasn't willing to give an interview. Why? Because his sister teaches at a school just facing that hotel, and he was worried about her life.
Wow. Ed, I do want to say that we do have Cuban state media reports, and they are citing a Twitter user saying that, of course, we do not have any results yet as to what could have caused this, but they did cite a Twitter user saying that this possibly or presumably occurred while transferring liquefied gas from a truck. Have you heard anything further from the Cuban government there on the ground?
It's very early days. So the explosion took place less than an hour ago. Cuban media takes a while to get going with a response. Yes, about 20 minutes, 30 minutes ago, the Cuban official media, local media here, are reporting that it was not a bomb and that it was an accident, possibly, they say, to do with the transport of liquefied gas. I should say, and this is not saying that it was a bomb. What I'm saying is that when I arrived at the scene, the things people were saying was a bomb. And I myself, that was my first gut reaction, because the smell was strange. And Cuba has had a history in the 1990s, 30 years ago, but it has a history of a spate of bombings in hotels to try and keep tourists away. And of course, the island is highly dependent on tourism and trying to get tourist numbers up after such a brutal pandemic. So in terms of what people were speculating right outside the hotel, they were saying bomb. The Cuban media is saying no, it was an accident, probably liquefied gas or possibly liquefied gas. As this story develops, things will clarify.
And Ed, you know, as you can imagine, my WhatsApp channel is blowing up on my phone. Sources sending me video from the ground. As you know, I have Cuban roots. I lived there in Cuba. So I know that you said you live just blocks away from the Hotel Saratoga. Can you just sort of lay out for our viewers, maybe those who've never been to Cuba, who've never been to Havana, sort of what this area is? It's near the Capitolio, the capital there in the middle of Havana. And this is just a vibrant center, right? This is, you know, where everyone goes to the plaza to walk around, to have a cafecito. Can you just explain where this is located right now?
Sure. It's less than 200 meters away from the Capitolio building, which is Cuba's Capitol building, modeled on the Capitol building in the United States, built in the 1930s as one of the seats of political power in Cuba. The plan is that Cuba's National Assembly are going to be meeting in that building again. So in terms of symbolism, in terms of places where tourists would be passing by, this is a major thoroughfare. It's a major artery in the touristic side of Havana, and it's a place where Cuban authorities have been spending a lot of money to do up, to make more beautiful, in large part because they want the city to be more beautiful, in large part as well because it's where tourists go through. So this will be a crushing blow for Cuba's attempts to relaunch its tourism after such a brutal pandemic.
And before And before we let you go, because I do want to underscore how important it is that we have eyes and ears on the ground there in Havana. Ed, for those of us who love Cuba, who've been following Cuba, who cover Cuban politics, we've always had our eye on the pulse of this. But for the larger world, there has been so much more attention on Cuba just this year alone. If you look at the numbers of migration, we are seeing historic rates of Cuban migration to the United States, rates that are similar and on set to surpass the 1980s Marielitos, right? So this is coming after a crushing pandemic. This is coming as we near the year anniversary of the July 11th protests. Can you tell us, just sort of set a basic scene beyond just the explosion? Why has Cuba been in the forefront of global news and global politics this year? What are Cubans on the ground experiencing now?
The reason that Cuba is in the news so much is because of the dire economic crisis, which was the main reason for last summer's protests. After last summer's protests, when thousands of Cubans all across the island protested, there's been a political crackdown. And it's those two factors, first and foremost, a terrible economic situation, and also people leaving for political reasons, that's driving the Cuban migration that you said. And the Cuban migration at the moment is astronomical. In the first 5 months of this year, 80,000 Cubans have crossed the U.S.-Mexican border. After Mexicans, Cubans are the second group of citizens trying to make their way and successfully crossing the U.S.-Mexican border. So it's become a major headache for the Biden administration what to do with this unprecedented, as you rightly say, unprecedented amount of Cubans successfully crossing in the United States.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.